Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Caliban. Now the Caliban is a absolutely gloriously memey tank when it wants to be. Keynote, when it wants to be. And I absolutely adore this thing. I really do. I absolutely love playing it because it's hilarious. It's hilarious when it works. Keynote, when it works. And I just really enjoy the memes I can get from it, because penning people for 850 damage with the Hesh, with 180 pen that this thing gets, is glorious when it works. And you get 292 AP pen as well, which for 600 alpha means that you can pen a lot of the tanks you're going to face, which is really nice to have. But you do get two guns on this tank, and the two guns you get on this tank are the single shot, which you're seeing in this first replay, and then the auto reloader, which you can see in the second replay. And really, the shell types and having that really good AP is only truly useful for your single shot, because you can switch between the two. And that's why I always say the single shot's probably better, because you can either load Hesh, or you can go, okay, I can't pen this thing with Hesh, but I need to pen it, so I'll load the AP and get the slightly better shell velocity and all that sort of stuff. But the auto reloader has its charms, and with the charms of the auto reloader, that is that you can two-shot people at times, and you can get some really memey clips out of it, which is glorious. But it is derpier, and that is kind of painful. And, like I say, with the auto-reloader, you can't just then go, okay, I need AP in this situation, like you're seeing right here against this IS-7, and I can't just automatically load it, because I have to reload for what is a considerably long time, okay? It's a very, very long time on the reload with the clip, because you spend 22 seconds reloading this gun, or a little bit quicker if you boost with food. But with the auto reloader, it's 40-second reload on the worst shell and 25 seconds on the best shell. So even with the best shell in the auto reloader, you still don't fire as quick as your single shot does. And you're derpier, and your dispersions are slightly worse too. Well, like your accuracy and your accuracy during rotation, it's just worse. So you do sacrifice a lot to have the ability to two-shot people. And add to that, the Caliban's shell velocity is pretty atrocious. If we're totally honest, the shell velocity is what really, truly hurts the tank a lot, as well as the reload, naturally. But the shell velocity is 354 on the Hesh and 500 meters a second on the Premium AP, which the Premium AP is definitely better for that. But it means that the shells do loop, and you can loop shells RBRT over ridges, by the way, with the Caliban. That's quite a meme. But in true fashion for this Caliban, by the way, this tank is actually truly awful. It is an awful tank, and do I ever recommend buying it? No, not really. If you can handle memes and you can buy it and you want to have it just in the expectance that you might get some shots off every now and then that work, oh, that shot on the griller, that looked like it was destined. But yeah, you want a meme tank that you don't really care about doing well in, and you don't care about anything consistent, this might be the one for you, because it can be pretty damn memey. And like I said, when it works, it's hilarious. But come on, Hesh. Oh, 900 damage on that griller, by the way. Oh, yeah. But yeah, the Caliban's pretty awful. It's only a tank. It's a tank that you've really, really got to get the most out of to enjoy, and even when you do get the most out of it, it's still exceptionally inconsistent and a pain in the ass. And it is one of those that you go, oh, Caliban, why? When you miss shots, because it's just the Caliban being the Caliban. So in terms of a crew on the old Caliban, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Rapid Aim, Clutch Braking, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun. The 3 gun perks to make sure that this gun is as good as it can be, or at least I can make it as good as it can be so it can try and hit some shells. Rapid Aim to make the turret traverse just that little bit better. And the clutch braking to just help my track traverse and make it so that I feel like the tank can turn on the 6 months a little bit better. And in terms of equipment on the Caliban, I do run the gun laying drive, the vertical stabilizers, and optics. Optics to try and help myself spot in the Caliban, because it only does have 370 meters view range, which is pretty awful. And I try and help that out again with optics to make it so I can try and spot for myself. the gun lane drive to get the horrible 4.1 second aim time down as much as possible so I can try and get this gun aimed in on target if I can. And the vertical stabilizers again to help the accuracy during rotation and movement, just to, again, try and make the bloom not that horrific for this tank. That was a thank you, Caliban, for hitting that. But yeah, try and make the bloom not that horrific for this tank. What really hurt this tank was the removal of the ammo swapper, because when you had the ammo swapper, you could basically change to the ammunition type that would help you at will. And that was really great for the Caliban, especially for the single shotgun. It was really goddamn helpful. But unfortunately that got removed, and it really did hurt the Caliban. And as you can see in that first game, we finished with the ace tanker, the 2000 base XP, 2062, 4.3k damage, 3 kills. Yeah, the ammo swapper removal really hurt the Caliban because it meant that, well, the one thing it had was the flexibility in shell choice. You had really good hesh, like really good hesh. You could pen a lot of the tanks at your tier with 180 pen and do 850 damage, which is great. But then when you're in tier 10 games and you were struggling and you couldn't pen things with the hesh, and you really needed to guarantee you were doing some damage to these things because you're only splashing for about 150 to 200, you could just switch to the AP and fire the AP. And that sort of flexibility in the situations you were going to get stuck into in the Caliban was really, really nice. But then they removed the ammo swapper from all auto-loaders and auto-reloaders that had randomly been given it, and the Caliban unfortunately got that removed, which was a massive nerf to the single shot. And that meant that I just sort of gave up with the single shot. While the single shot was nicer, I liked the ability to I just decided, you know what, screw it. I'm firing hesh. I'm firing hesh all the time. And then the moment I decide I want to fire AP, I'll just double tap the hesh into someone or something, right? Or just load AP and suffer the reload, because the reload is very, very long. I mean, you're talking over a minute to reload this clip. But, yeah, I just decided, you know what, screw it, I'm going with the meme potential. And the auto-reloader has the meme potential, because it has the ability to just delete someone in 2 shots if you get those shells in. You can get some filthy pens, naturally, with this gun, and you can have a really great time when you surprise people and get up behind them and give them a good heshing in the rear, which is always a glorious thing. And so, yeah, I just decided, screw it, I'm just going to run the auto-reloader. That's it. And we'll accept what we'll accept. And Caliban is a meme for shots like that on that Pershing. How did that pen that Pershing? 850. What? I mean, we rolled perfectly for average, but how did we pen that guy? Okay. Alright, thank you, Caliban, for taking that shell and guiding it straight into the tank. We'll take it. So we get a nice shot into the Pershing there. And I could have fired a second, but the best thing to do with this tank is not fire the second shell whatsoever. Just hold on to that second shell for dear life. But use it when you know you can double tap someone and when you can get them out the game. Because the problem is, if you double tap and you don't eliminate the tank that you're double tapping, they have a whole minute to kill you. And they will do it. Because this thing doesn't really have that good of an armor. It just doesn't have good armor. It doesn't have that good ability. It won't get away from them. And while you may have just deleted all of their hit points, again, they will just go, well, now I've got a minute, or 45 seconds at least, until you could probably splash them and kill them, right? They've got all that time to just go, well, goodbye, sir. Good night. And, yeah, you get shut down. So as you can see, we come around the corner. We end up shutting down the SMV CC56. We're just waiting for the second reload again. The Pershing is running away. Artillery then slaps a shell in. It's like, God damn you, artillery. Okay, well, I'm just going to chase after your Pershing anyway. Try and get round this corner into E6 to try and maybe get some shots into the guys that are pushing down from D6 themselves. Being a bit hesitant because I'm thinking, are they pushing straight across? I might be able to just hug this corner and stay safer. I'm not too sure. But, okay, we've got a dead wreck in front of us. That's good in itself. And I'm just going to drive over and get rid of the CS-44. It's like, hello, CS-44. Just let me aim in the shell, because you really have to aim the shells with the Caliban, because otherwise it will try its hardest, its damnedest, to miss those shells. We shut down the CS-44 with the splash. Now there's a VK-101P coming. Not good times. I kind of wish I had AP at this point, which is, again, where I wish I had the ammo swapper. And I'm looking at the situation going, oh, God, we are so dead. Look at what's coming. The Scorpion goes, please kill me. It's like, thank you, Scorpion. Okay, I will kill you. Shooting down for 773. We're just pulling back behind the Tiger. Where did that MX come from? It's like, okay, AMX, sure, I'll just shut you down too then. We managed to get a double tap there with the gun. And I'm just sat here going, what? What just happened? Okay. That MX-65T just came... It's one of the moments where you just see a pair of tracks flying above you and you go, what the hell? As you duck out the way and go, oh, well, okay, if you're going to give me rear, I'll just pen you with my Hesh for 850. That's fine. But now we're finally getting the next shell. Like, so you've just seen how long this reload is, by the way. And, yeah, we've got the next shell in. And I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here for the Sergeant Slaughter and the VK101P. So as you can see, we are getting out of dodge. And we're hoping to get this second shell in if we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop up on top. And as you can see, the Sergeant Slaughter's coming for us. He didn't expect that. It's like, goodbye, Mr. Sergeant Slaughter. Thank you, Caliban, once again for behaving. And we shut down the Sergeant Slaughter, putting us on to 3.9k damage. I don't think that guy expected to get penned there and done for 777 there. I can only thank the Caliban for actually behaving. And there's currently 3 tanks left. The VK101P, 2 artillery. We know where the artillery is, and I'm like, okay, don't spot me, VK. Please don't spot me. Okay, thank God he's not there. Right, I have no idea where this guy is. I expect he's probably chasing after me at some point. But I don't want to get into a head-on brawl with the VK, because that's going to get very awkward. So I'm going to go chase artillery, and it's like, hang on a minute. That's the arty. Okay. Well, I can't get a shot at him. And again, I don't want to be stuck out in this middle ground when the VK101P comes chasing after me. I say chasing very, very slowly because it is very slow. I don't want to get stuck in this middle ground. I want to get back to a ridgeline where I can stay safe on hull down and break the engagement. So as we get to this ridgeline, we end up spotting the FV207. He pops a blind shot towards us, which, okay. But we do manage to shut down that guy with a nicely aimed shot into his hull, putting us on to 6 kills with 4.2k damage. And we're just waiting for the next shell to come in. And again, I'm still expecting the VK101P to come back at any point here to come and kill us. And as we come over, it's like, oh, hello, artillery. Well, don't let me, just don't mind me getting my Pascucci's here. We shut down the Lorraine 15550, get our 4.9k damage, 7th kill of the game, and we are now in a full reload because, well, I preempted the reload like an idiot. Oh, in fact, actually, no, I've gone for the full reload. I have gone for the full reload because I decided, okay, I can two-shot the VK101P with AP. So we're going to load AP, because the AP will go through that VK, and if I have this ridgeline in front of me, I can pop over, pen him with the AP, pull back, reload, and pen him again. And I fully expected him to come chasing after us, but in fact, no. He actually went to our cap, while we were already capping. So that means that, yeah, we're going to win by cap. He can't now win by cap whatsoever, so we're going to go chasing after our cap. Hopefully see if we can get there to get a shot into this guy. We are now fully loaded, which is glorious. That means we're ready to deal with this guy as and when we get there. And the artillery is currently on the run after him at G3. So you never know, he might actually find him. We've got 40 seconds left to find this VK though. And I was just crossing over to see if he was possibly running down the J line, see if he, he might be going back towards his cap that way. Because I didn't spot anything, because the artillery didn't light anything, I'm like, okay, you know what? We're going to go this way instead. And in fact, the artillery has found the VK101P, and she shotguns him. Okay. And we finished the game with the victory. 7 kills, 4.9k damage, 882 assistance. Devastator, Pascucci's, Ace Tanker, Top Gun, High Caliber. And yeah, the 2.1k base XP. A really nice game for the Caliban. Some absolute memes in that game. Really, really was. And yeah, the Caliban, it's a really memey tank. It can be fun when it works. And the big proviso is when it works. In terms of its actual general things as a tank, it's absolutely dreadful. And I would never recommend it. But there we go. I love playing it just because of those Derp memes. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
You're good.